simplify 2y minus 12 all over all of y squared minus 8y plus 12. The way this is written, you can't simplify it. To be able to simplify this fraction, I think what you're going to need to do is factorize the top fully, factorize the bottom fully, and then find two brackets or two factors that will cancel each other out. So let's do that now. Let's fully factorize the numerator, the top part of the fraction, which is 2y minus 12. What is a common factor for 2y and minus 12? Well, 2 is, because 2 will divide into both evenly. So I'll write 2 outside the brackets, then I'll open a bracket. I know I'm going to need my bracket. So 2y divided by 2, that's just y. In other words, 2 times what gives me 2y? The answer is y. I have a minus divided by a plus, so I'm going to get a minus answer. And 12 divided by 2 is 6, because 2 times 6 is equal to 12. And so now I've fully factorized 2y minus 12 to be 2 times all of y minus 6. So that's going to be the numerator in my new fraction. Now I'll fully factorize the bottom part, y squared minus 8y plus 12. You should recognize that this is a quadratic expression, y squared minus 8y plus 12. It has one unknown, y, and the highest power is 2. So it's a quadratic. To factorize this, we have three different things here, so we're going to need two brackets. So I'm going to draw two brackets first, and then I'm going to fill them in step by step. Well, what times what will give me y squared? Y times y will give me y squared. Then I need two numbers that when they multiply, when you add them together you get a negative number. When you multiply them you get a positive number. Well, if you multiply two numbers and get a positive number, either they were both plus or both minus. If they were both plus and you added them, you would get a plus number. Here they've both been, when they're added you get a minus number, minus 8, so they must be both minus. Because when you add a minus and a minus you get a minus number, and when you multiply a minus times a minus you get a plus number. Now I need two numbers that when you add them you get 8, and when you multiply them you get 12. Let's write down the factors of 12. 1 and 12. Do they have a difference of 8? No. Okay, let's try the next one. 2 divided by 12 is 6. 2 times 6 is equal to 12. Do they have a difference of 8, or can they be combined to make 8? They can. 2 minus 2 and minus 6. When you multiply them they give you plus 12. When you add them you get minus 8. It doesn't matter what bracket you put them in. Minus 2 and minus 6. Now we've fully factorized the bottom part of the fraction, and now I'll write it as one fraction. I'll write it as 2y minus 6, and that's all over y minus 2 times all of y minus 6. And I don't know if you noticed it, but now the top part of our fraction and the bottom part of our fraction have something in common. They have, you can see here, y minus 6, and this bracket here, y minus 6. I can cancel those down. In other words, I can divide the top and bottom by y minus 6. So those can be cancelled out. So I will be left with, let me get this, I'll just be left with 2 times 1, or 2, over y minus 2. I can't simplify that anymore, so I've fully simplified it, which is what I was asked to do in the question. So my final answer is 2 over y minus 2.